Let's take a look at some techniques for working with worksheet tabs. At the bottom of your workbook, you're going to see your worksheet tabs. By default, they are named Sheet 1, Sheet 2, and Sheet 3, and you have 3 worksheets in a workbook. But you really can put as many worksheets as you want in a workbook. You're only limited by about your amount of memory that you have. If you'd like to insert a worksheet, you can point at this little button at the very end of your worksheets here with the little star on it, and if you click on it, it just creates a brand new worksheet. If you'd like to delete a worksheet, you can right-click the tab and choose Delete. Of course, if you have contents on the tab, it will warn you about deleting the worksheet. So I might come out here, click on a new worksheet, and then to rename the worksheet I can just go ahead and double click my sheet name and I will call it My Sheet, press enter, and I have renamed the worksheet. At any time you can come out here and right click a worksheet and you can choose a tab color if you'd like. So you can give your sheet tabs a kind of a flair and identify them easily by coloring them as well. If you'd like to select several sheets at once, you can click on a sheet, hold down the control key, and randomly click other sheets. And then you could go ahead and delete these, copy these, whatever you'd like to do. If you'd like to move a sheet, you can click on the sheet, tab, drag it to the left or the right, and it reorganizes the order of the worksheets. Excel doesn't really care what order they're in. It's completely up to you. If you have any links between the sheets, it will not disturb the links at all. If you'd like to make a quick copy of a sheet, you can hold down the control key, and as you drag it, you'll make a copy of the sheet. Excel does not like to have sheet tabs with the same names that exist in the same work, so it will rename the sheet with a numerical value at the end. Copying worksheets is a real easy way to duplicate your work. If you're creating a month-end statement, you can create your first and then make multiple copies for each subsequent month and just rename the sheets if you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and delete my new sheet. If you'd like to protect a sheet, you could come out here and right-click on the Sheet tab and choose Protect Sheet. The Protect Sheet dialog box is telling me that users who are working on this sheet can only select locked cells or select unlocked cells, but they can't format, they can't insert columns, they can't do anything. They can't type inside of a cell. Let's see how this works. I'm going to go ahead and type in a password. I'll retype the password. And now if I come out to, say, sheet 3, I can go ahead and type in whatever I'd like. But if I go back to my sheet, which I have protected, and I try to type something in, it won't let me until I unprotect the sheet. To unprotect a sheet, you right-click the sheet, come out and choose Unprotect Sheet. It'll ask for the password. Click OK, and it's unprotected, and you can go ahead and type in whatever you'd like. If you'd like, you can move or copy worksheets in between workbooks. I'm sitting out here on a file called My Data. I'm going to go ahead and create a new file by holding down the control key and pressing the letter N. And when I have my new workbook out here, just called Workbook 2, I'm going to click on the View tab and then come out here and choose View, or Arrange All rather, and I'm going to choose to tile these side by side. Now here I have 3 workbooks open. I'm going to come out here and click on My Sheet, and I'm going to drag it from this workbook called My Data. I'm going to click on the Sheet tab and just drag it right down here and place it off on the end of Sheet 5 on the new Excel work, and it moves it from the My Data over to the new workbook. To move it back, I can click on the Sheet tab and just drag it back. If you'd like to make a copy of the Sheet tab, you could click on the Sheet tab, hold down your control key, and then drag the Sheet tab while holding the control key. Let go of the mouse first, then the control key, and now you'll have the sheet in both files at the same time. It's important to note that the file sheets are not linked at all between the 2 workbooks. It's just basically a copy of the sheet. Excel thinks you just created it by hand, and it doesn't know that they exist in both workbooks. Going back to view my worksheets at one time, I select several sheets at once. I'll select My Sheet, I'll select Northwind Sales, and I'll select Sheet 1 and Sheet 2. And if I'd like to move these over to the workbook, I can do this while all 3 sheets are selected. I could come out here, also hold down my control key and just drag these sheets down, and it fills in these sheets in the new workbook. So you can basically copy several sheets at once or one at a time. You can also move or copy sheets at once or several at a time.